All right, guys, it's Dr. Ganatra here, and I got a few short minutes. I want to get this one out to you because I just got this question, and I want to share it with you. It was, hey, I just bought my new practice, and I'm so excited. What do I have to do next to kind of make sure I'm successful as I get into this new office? Where I'm going to share 3 things with you. I'm kicking this off the fly. I haven't rehearsed this, but this is essentially what goes on when we have our coaching calls and our masterminds. And I literally go over these things with you. So the first thing is this. If you bought your practice and you are getting into it, let's say next week, the first thing you got to do is this, is you have to integrate with the environment that is in that practice right now. What's that team? Who's the front office? What's going on with their flow? What's going on with the patient flow, the schedule? You got to know what your environment is at the time right now as you are transitioning into it. That's number 1. Before you go in there and say, hey, I got these big plans. I got to make changes. I got to do all this stuff. You have to align with who you are meeting. And you're meeting that new team, that new business. That's an entity. You and that business have to be one. And that has to happen from day 1. And the best way to do that is to say, hey, that first day I'm coming on board, there are no patients. We are just meeting all day. And I'm really getting to know what your systems are, what you guys do, how you schedule patients, how everything works. And you'll get a chance to meet me, and we collectively can talk about our vision. We can talk about our vision. Does that make sense? So day 1, you meet, you align with the environment at that point. You express your vision. You hear their vision. You get closer together in a group or company or practice vision together. That's how you plant the seed. You see, most people take over a practice and they don't plant the seed. They plant the seed 2 years down and say, oh my God, I took over and this was chaos. Well, it was chaos because they jumped into a pot of soil without planting any seeds, right? So that's number 1. The second thing you have to do, number 2, is come together and really get an idea of what is your marketing plan? How are you getting patients in? How are patients being treated after they're in your chair? When they leave, what is the plan for them to come back to the office? Do you have a plan for that? What's currently happening? How many new patients do you get every day, every month, every week? What is that metric? How do those patients find out about your office? Do you have a website? Do you not have a website? Who owns the website? What's going on in that digital world? Because I can tell you this right now, as you know, you've seen my other videos, that knowing what's happening online digitally to get people into your practice is huge. And it's not just about the website. It's about your own perspective of how you're going to reach out to these people, right? So what is a marketing plan? And your plan should involve 3 parts. And I go over this in another video. It should involve, what are we really trying to seek? We're not trying to go after new patients. What we're trying to go after are new procedures. There's a difference. Watch that video. It's on my YouTube here. That's the difference between, going after new patients and new procedures. New procedures are the thing that you should be going after. Which procedures do you want to do? Because once you define the procedures you want to do, you can now create the hook. You can create the demand, the need. You can create the story about those procedures, and you can give that local community of yours an offer to get those in. Hook, story, offer. If you haven't seen it, watch that one. I dive deep into that one. I think it's like 13, 14 minutes long. So that's number 2. Number 3, the third thing you got to do is not only your marketing plan, what is the quality and the level of service that you are willing to provide. So 3 things. The first one was, what's your current situation? What's your state of the practice? Number 2 is the marketing plan. And number 3 is the service. What is the quality and level of service that you are willing to provide as you get into this thing? Does that make sense? So how do you walk patients out? Who goes over the treatment plan? How do you talk money with the patient? I've had doctors that bought a practice and their method was, hey, I'm going to walk that patient out to the front door and open the door for them. And I mean, this specific doctor I'm thinking of is doing wildly successful after his acquisition. And that was his way of doing it. That was his unique way of, hey, I'm not only going to treat them, I'm going to be like they came to my house. I'm going to walk them out to the front door. How awesome is that? What's your level of service? How do you want to serve? Because it's not about how can I grow my business before thinking of how can I serve? How can I serve? Leaders are servants first, right? So if you're going to lead, you have to ask yourself, hey, I'm going to get my hands wet and I am going to serve and lead by example so my team sees me serve. And when I'm speaking to the patients, I'm talking about how I can actually help them with their problems, their challenges. I'm not imposing on them the treatment I think they need. I'm lining up with what they are fearful of, what they are challenged with, what they want. And then based off of their wants, I am now interjecting what they need, right? So that level of service, to define it, to refine it, to know it in your mind is so important. And you have to share that with your team as you get started. And most doctors, they come in, they know, oh, I want to, give them awesome service and all that stuff, but they don't share that with their team. So I promise, I gotta run. I want to get this out to you guys. I promise, if you just bought a practice and you do these 3 things, it will totally revolutionize how you move forward in that office. It will give a brand new, refresher to that team. And it will also make you guys all come together closer. It'll boost them to the next level because they're like, wow, this doctor's coming in with some heat. He wants to know where he's at. He has a marketing plan and he wants to know how we can serve. Now, I can't think of 3 things that are more important than knowing where you're at, how to reach and impact more people with the marketing, and how to serve the people that come into your practice. Okay, guys, quick one here for you. Have to run. Have an incredible day. And as always, live inspired.